Hi, my name's Keith Cooper of Northlight Images, and in this video I'm looking at some products and some things that I've tested quite a few years ago that have stood the test of time. Now, somebody the other day said you should never buy cheap stuff because, well, it's unreliable, etc, etc. Now this ties in also with the fact that I, like many other YouTube channels, will have been contacted by a certain well-known retailer, 4 letters beginning with T, asking if I'd like to look at their photography stuff. Now, as ever, I had a look through it and thought, well, is there anything here I want? Well, there may be. I'll come back to that one at some point. It's not all as bad as people make out, but in particular, I'm going to have a quick look at 2 things from K&F Concept, Kent Faith, that I originally reviewed long before I started making videos. And the reason I say they've stood the test of time is because we've got a tripod, which is the one that I normally use for shooting videos. Now, I've covered stuff that I use for my architectural photography, which is what's supporting the camera today. But this I use on my industrial photography. It's a particular model. I never remember the numbers. I'll pop it up on the screen. This one in particular, it's a metal aluminium tripod. It goes up to 8 feet. Now, it's no good for stuff, outdoors in windy conditions and things like that, but I don't do shots like that, tend to do stuff. This is one that I use for industrial photography. It's the one I normally use for when I'm shooting these videos and stuff, and it just works really well. Now, you can see an example of it here. Now, incidentally, this is when I was looking at testing extension tubes. But anyway, I'm also going to have a quick look at this, which is a ring flash, also K&F ring flash. Now, you know, people say don't buy cheap flashes. Well, yeah, they're not really cheap, but this one still works after all these years. I've got some great photos that I shot this morning just because I hadn't used it for a bit, charged up some batteries, popped into it, and they do look great. I'll come back to those pictures though. But the tripod, the key thing with this particular one, unfortunately, is that if I loosen this section, the top section does that. Now that's incredibly useful sometimes for product shots, getting camera over things. There are lots of other ways of doing it. I normally have a studio stand. It's here at the moment, but this is just useful, and it's one of those things that, you know, several people asked me about house move that I'm doing at the moment, where I've been packing away a lot of stuff. It also means that some kit has not been packed away because it's stuff I use, hence this and this flash here. Now, the tripod, it's an aluminium one. I'll put links to all the details. There's loads of them. I put links to my original review. My original video was done right when I very first started doing videos, so very few people will have seen it. But anyway, that's just a nifty, useful tripod. Ball head on it. You don't have to use it like that. You can use it underslung, all sorts of things. Let's have a quick look at the flash here. KF150 ring flash, which takes 4 AA batteries. As with most ring flashes, it has a flash on either side. Now you do need to be a bit careful when you're doing that, because sometimes you know, the reflection from the flash gives you sort of 2 C's back next to it like that, which is the reflection of the ring flash. Now, ring flash, typical, the sort of thing you see on TV and CSI things, people wandering around taking pictures with it, gives a very flat lighting. It is useful. I mean, the example I've got here, this was from the original testing when I was using it, connected on a TSE 90 tilt shift lens, and by tilting the plane of focus here, I've managed to capture an oblique view of the back of this stopwatch with the plane of focus running through it. You know, the lighting, this one, it can do it on TTL. This is the Canon version, hence it's on an R5 here, so it's Canon version. There are other versions of it as well. You can control the individual strength, you can control which light, it does TTL, all of it. Have a look at the review if you want more of it. But the fact is, it's a basic ring flash, and it has served me well for about 7 years now. Don't use it very often, but when I do use it, it's exactly what I want. So I said I'd got some examples. Just nip out into the garden, down in the kitchen and into the garden this morning. And, well, in the kitchen, this is one of the orchids I've got flowering currently in the kitchen. This is using, and this is a 100mm macro lens. This is the TT Artisan one that I reviewed a while ago. This one's not actually made anymore. It's the RF mount one with tilt on it and tilt and shift. For some reason the current version is just a straight lens on that. But anyway, this is a lens I tested. It works, it goes up to 2 times magnification. There we go. These are shot handheld. Yes, there's image stabilizing on this, but I ain't going to make a lot of difference with this. This is just using the flash to freeze movement. Now I've had to shoot at f/22 on here to get the depth of field. This is a different orchid. For some reason, they've all decided they're going to flower and they're going to do very well. Whether they've detected they're going to be moved to a new home, I don't know. Anyway, this is one of my original shots taken for the review. If you look at the detail of the reflections in this, you can see that point sources of light are duplicated as 2 little dots. That's because of the ring flash here. You can alter the intensity of them. So you can have one at, say, full power, one at 16th power, and that'll give you a slight bit of lighting, bit of depth, bit of shadow. But remember, the whole point of using a ring flash normally is that you're trying to get rid of shadow. You want flat lighting. Those are tiny little flowers. They're a few millimeters across. Now out into the garden, and there we have. That's on the blackberry. And that is a bee pollinating a flower, having some free nectar. Shot at a 200th f/22 to allow for the fact that it was quite windy, so things are moving, I'm moving. Took several shots to get it, so there you go, there's a picture of that. Nice detail of the bee there. If you look carefully in the background, you can actually see the very deep blue sky. That's because I've put the flash power up here at f/22, 100 ISO. The flash is providing the lighting, the daylight round the back, it's dropped it to nearly black. So that's that. This is one of the cactus that's flowering in the conservatory at the moment. These little tiny flowers are a few millimeters across. They look far more impressive here than they do in real life. It's one of those ones where you look at it and think, well, good on you for flowering, but yeah, anyway, it seems, they look quite interesting. Now, just end up on this one. This is another picture of a bee. You can see it's coating itself in pollen. It's also in the garden again. And if you want to just use stuff like this and you don't want to splash out and get it, I mean, I've got a Canon twin flash unit that I've had for years that works exceedingly well, but at cost, I think even second hand, that cost me several £100 a few years ago. Stuff like this is great for experimenting. You will find there are limitations with using a ring flash like that, but if it's a look you want, it's a look that you'll get from it. So there you have it. Incidentally, K&F tell me they've got a anniversary sale or something coming up. I'll put link. They sent me some links. They basically asked me, they said, you've not looked at any stuff, right? Is there anything you want to test? And I thought, well, I can't do much testing at the moment because we packed a lot of stuff away. But there are things that I've tested in the past that are just fine. So, just because it's not one of the big names, and I know, certainly with tripods, there's an awful lot of snootiness about tripods. I get of people look at you very condescendingly if you're not using a big name tripod and things like that. Great, if you want that, you like that, you're prepared to pay for it, go for it. But stuff like this, it works. I do photography as a business. This is part of my business. It's reliable enough for that. So, just, take people saying, oh, you need to buy such and such. I don't think I've ever spent more than £150 on tripod related stuff. I have on a few instances, bits and pieces, but for general stuff like this, they do work just fine. Anyway, hope that was of some interest, and thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, let us know. Bye.